Oi guys, this is actually the second attempt at doing this, because I actually heard Grom on my shoulder shouting in my bleeding shell like, didn't I? And I'm getting, no, stop it, test it. So I noticed that I wasn't getting any audio on the camera, on the front of the camera. Thank God I can see myself on the front of the camera, so I can get it framed out right as well. But the other beauty of it is the casing that I have the camera in plugs into this kind of mic thing. That's so I can have my mics on me, my Rode mics. But then I can see the little bar going up and down. I wasn't seeing that, and I'm like, I ain't getting any sound. Yeah, just carry on, it'll be all right. And then I heard this freaking like, no. So I did, I stopped it. There wasn't any sound, and I totally just stood over on the side with patience and dismantled everything. Dismantled everything and got it working. So I'm pretty proud of that. Because I was a little bit like, oh no. Because anybody that knows, I've had trouble with a computer. It's like, oh. Anyway, sorting that out. If you're watching this right now, then I've got my computer sorted out to where I originally wanted it, because yeah, couldn't find anything, and blimey. But anyway, much gratitude, I'll tell you what. But I wanted to, I've been watching some Joe Dispenza stuff, and man, oh man, I tell you what, I'm living proof that it can be done, because I woke up and I wasn't in a good state of mind, to tell you the truth. Wasn't in a particularly great place when I woke, and realised I hadn't set the intent the night before, which is one of the things I've been doing, which is a good thing to do, guys. When you're sitting down on the edge of the bed, this is what I do. Sit on the edge of the bed, start calming the mind, because sometimes the mind can start racing, because here you are, it's kind of quiet, and the old mind starts playing a role and pointing you in the wrong directions, right? Well, I think I'll just walk back up this way. Pointing you in the wrong directions, right? And you're going the wrong way. And I decided to shift that around, get the shift going in the other direction, and got things moving to the point where I had an absolute blinding, I think it was. I had a great session with a fella, and it was about, not giving up. In fact, the session was kind of around that, like, okay, the understanding of this takes work. It takes persistence. It takes intent. It takes an absolute warrior instinct to want to get somewhere and to work on the mind. And I honestly believe that I get given these tests, like the one this morning, to put these things to the test and go, oh, that worked. I really do. I've been given this gift for a start of being able to work with people. I really do see it as a gift. So I've been given this gift of working with people, which is an absolute blessing, let me tell you. I know some absolute beautiful human beings, every one of my guys. And they come in front of me and they start to work, get the work process done. And every one of my guys are the type of guys that I want sitting in front of me. And no doubt it kind of puts in mind of me a bit. And it's about that pushing. It's about that looking, wanting to know what's where, why it's there, what it is, what can I do, how do I work my mind, digging down into those roots, having a look, see what's going on down there. Think about it. If you've got a plant that's not doing so well, yeah, look at the roots. If it's showing no sign on the top, go down and look at the roots. There's probably a problem with the roots. Maybe the pot's too small, maybe it can even be too big, too much water, not enough sun, and the roots are starting to not look good. Look at the roots. It's just like us. Look at the roots. Have a look. And I've been doing some pretty heavy work lately in my own sessions, and wanted to, things started coming up. You're starting to mix things up a little bit. You're starting to push things. Oops, excuse me. You're starting to push things around, and the mind wants to stay in the default. It wants to be there. It wants to stay there because that's what it's familiar with. It knows. Hang on a minute. Cross the road. Let's do a little run. It knows. It knows what that is. It knows that worry every day. It knows that the same fears as the day before that, day before. For years, it knows all that. It absolutely knows it. So it's about seeing that as the program. Now, what do you want to do with that? And it means looking at those things, seeing them, knowing that first of all is a past that we can now work with and we can now learn and get teachings from. Future we do not know. And the only bit you got is right now. That's it. Right now. Literally what you're doing this 1 second right now. And then you can start looking at you in a space, opening your mind and starting to see, instead of being in that one-track mind that we so often get into. Wake like me this morning, woke up in the morning, and the old victim mentality can sometimes come in and play a role. I know it has with me. I'm human. You get into that victim mentality. Now you believe everything is out there is against you, when it's down to us to shift our mind into a different perspective of what we're actually seeing or witnessing, and shifting our mind. Because some of those things that we see in front of us happening are triggers to those things, those past experiences. And I'm not saying they're freaking easy to deal with, guys. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that at all. I break down in front of my therapists just like my guys break down in front of me when we start getting into some of those areas that hurt. Some things you forget, especially when it goes around control and manipulation and you just don't see. But it's a matter of, do you want to, where you are right now, right this very second, where you are, in the now, in the present, where do you want to go forward? Because that's what you can change. Change yourself going forward. Start shifting your mind. And it takes work. It takes looking at yourself and sometimes being the person to say, yeah, I was wrong there, and dealing with that and working with that and guilt and all kinds of different things that get in the way. And by the way, a lot of those insecurities, again, it can be the default program from somewhere. An upbringing, manipulative relationship, all kinds of different things. Bullying is a beautiful one for that. That's something that I had when I was a kid. I had bullying and didn't realise how much of an impact that was actually making until he got pointed out at me as an adult from Judith, and the understanding of that and seeing what repercussions come from that and how the mind thinks and where the mind goes and having an understanding. But it takes sometimes going into those roots and looking at it and not being in a very good place. I tell you what, I've been where I've been bawling my eyes out. I've angry, lots of anger can come up, but you work with it because you want to be that different person moving forward. And don't put too much of a big hole on yourself, meaning a lot of weight. You're human, things happen, mistakes are made. Sometimes we make a choice and it might not have been the right choice, but you know what? Don't look at it and give yourself a kick in the ass from a past that's telling you were wrong or that you're not worth it. Look at yourself now as wanting to change and say, okay, what have I gained from that? What did I learn from that? What can I take from a situation and turn it to where I'm getting a lesson from that? Now you're not seeing that as anything but a learning experience, something to learn by. Even those choices when we get into, you know, jobs that we're not quite into, or a job we liked at the beginning, and all of a sudden it's starting to get a little bit like, oh, mate, this is becoming a bit of a grind just to get my leg inside the door, yeah? Is that how you want to be for the rest of your life? Think about that. Think how old you are now, how many years you got left in a job, and, you know, and look how good you are. You know, it's always the ones, well, I won't say always, sorry. Sorry, I won't say always. But the people that are really, really good for a firm or whatever, and they're really good at what they do, are the ones that get pushed on and pushed around, and it's like, come on, yeah, huh, kidding me? You treat those people. If you're a boss or anything, you got people that are really, really good at what they do, and they're really good people. Look after them, yeah, because I'll tell you what, they'll look after you. There's a reason why they're really good, and you want those people on your side. You need to look after those people, but people don't. They just, and that comes down to us and not having the boundaries as well. Remember your boundaries. There's a lot of boundaries that come into this as well. As you shift, if you was brought up where you don't even know what a boundary was, and then all of a sudden you're being told, hey, you might want to start putting some boundaries down. Yeah, it's scary as shit. Real scary, because you're worried about the other person now. You're worried about them walking away, rejecting, abandoning, putting you in a position of discomfort. But all the while you keep on not having that boundary, you're not doing you. You're not looking after you, you're disrespecting yourself, and you're not being that changed person. Boundaries. Simple no. It's where mine started. A simple no. And yes, it's hard to do. Don't get me wrong, the old heart starts pounding, but you know, you breathe through it, you do it, and you come out the other side of that feeling, I'll tell you what, absolutely unbelievable feeling. It's like you just won the lottery. And then you keep those things going, and you gradually layer them up and keep building that up. And the more you build it up, you start changing that default into change. Start shifting yourself. But it takes the work, and it takes the intent, and it takes that keep going forward, not giving up. Want to change your job? All right, make it happen. And I know I say that with ease, of course, yeah, I know. But it's a choice we have. Put your mind into control, because you may be standing there believing you don't have a choice. But yes, is there repercussions from every choice? Of course. But all the while you're telling your brain that you don't have a choice, you're stuck. It doesn't keep your mind open. You tell your mind around and say that you're choosing to be there. That means the opposite of that is you can choose not to be there. But it puts the mind in a control aspect. Now your mind will open up a little bit, because all of a sudden there's choice involved. Shift yourself, guys. Start making those mental adjustments and moving in a different direction. And if you listen this far, go out there and hit that like and subscribe for me, yeah? Because again, it's getting this word out. This might land in front of somebody and you could completely shift their life around just by them hearing something from somebody. I don't blow smoke up people's asses, and those that know me know I don't. Even my guys that I guide, I don't blow smoke up asses. You know, even if I've not tried something, but I just heard about something, I'm going to stand underneath my tree. Even if I've tried, not tried something out, but I've heard about something or read about something, I'll say to my guys, hey, listen, I haven't really tried this yet. I might have tried it once or twice, and let them know what I thought, and if I'm going to carry on doing it and that, and then, but if I have done it and I've been working on it, like I said to my guy just now, there's a certain thing that I'm working on, and I said you might want to give it a go, which is that, is the sitting on the edge of the bed at night, having gratitude, checking out your wins. Where was your wins? I've actually bought a book to do a nighttime journal as well of wins. Checking out your wins, blowing up your wins. That's all part of that shifting as well. All that is part of that shifting. Pick up on your wins, because we're not, unless we do something absolutely what someone sees as freaking life-saving or out of this world, we don't get any recognition. So it's down to us to give us that recognition, each individual self. So give yourself the recognition. At night, sit on the edge of the bed, right before you go to sleep. have gratitude, think of all the wins in your day. Think about some of those things that if they didn't go quite right, what did you learn from it? Now you're telling the brain a different thing. You're not mad at that now. You're kind of giving it a different narrative to think about. What did I learn from that? Did I gain anything from that? And if the answer's no, then okay, well maybe the lesson is don't go near that person anymore. You learned something, all right? Make it happen, guys. Start shifting. It takes work, it takes intent. And no, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not easy. But I tell you what, the rewards are so much worth than staying on that narrow-minded venture that we get on that same treadmill that we can't get off because it just keeps going around, the old hamster wheel, right? Frightened to get off. But hey, I'm absolutely tired being on this hamster wheel and keep running at this speed. But if I step off, that's scary. No, step off and then all of a sudden have things come to a standstill to where you can go, okay, I'm still standing. Let's go. And let's go, guys. Let's make it happen. Stay that course. Namaste.